Hi, I'm Arabella Prince, and this week in class we covered different personality types along with learning and note taking styles and how they affect education. I think that knowing these concepts will help me in the future with both my schooling and job. This year's class expectations are very reasonable. They want you in class on time and completing assignments with full effort. I plan to meet these expectations by carving out time each week specifically for this class and completing the assignments. The VARC learning styles are visual, audio, reading, and kinesthetic. Visual is going to be your graphs and pictures. Audio is your verbal instructions, or if you prefer listening to an audiobook over reading the words, it helps convey the ideas easier. Reading is going to be reading your instructions, seeing the words on paper, and being able to follow it step by step. Kinesthetic is physical models or like just engagement. So maybe a game you create to help you study. I am best with visual and kinesthetic, so when I'm taking notes, I love to use a graph, or if I can, I would love a physical model to help really visualize everything that's happening in my class. The grit test is a combination of passion and follow through. It is going through with tasks even when there's low or no interest. Academically, when I'm trying to finish homework, I'll get so close to the end and then stop. So when I start to feel that urge to stop, I will use that grit that I learned through this class to push myself to go through with it and end that assignment, and not just do it on time, but do it early. The growth mindset is believing in people's abilities to change and move towards success. Having a growth mindset, myself, when I tested, it said that I do have a growth mindset with some fixed ideas, and I would love to move towards going to a complete growth mindset. Having that will help me encourage the people around me, especially members of my team, to move towards success and be the best people that they can be. And then the note-taking techniques in chapter 1 were very helpful. I am a big note taker. I love a good set of notes. I take very in-depth notes. I like to know that everything I'm learning is I have retained that knowledge. And if I haven't retained that knowledge, I'm able to go back and look at it again to make sure. So for me, I personally use the outline method, which is going to be key idea at the top and then bullet points breaking it down. But the Cornell notes is very similar, but I personally just prefer outline method. I find it easier to read, or mapping, because I just love colors and cloud charts. I think that they're pretty and they help me understand best. In conclusion, all of the things that we learned this week were incredibly helpful, and I think that knowing these things will push me towards success. Especially the VARC learning styles. I always had some sort of idea of what I was doing, but really testing and understanding in depth what each piece of VARC means will help me not only learn myself, but understand how other people learn, and when I'm trying to portray an idea, help them with what they know best. And then the growth mindset, of course, I think is just spectacular. As a psych major, I love the idea of the growth mindset quiz. I love seeing where people are with their beliefs and how flexible they are and moving towards growth. I do take slight issue with the grit test. I find that when you're working with people who are a bit on the neurodivergent side, the grit mind test is not universally applicable. And again, as someone who is into psychology and the science behind things, if it's not universally applicable, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I would prefer something like the other personality test we took. I'm blanking on it in the moment. Myers-Briggs. The Myers-Briggs test, I think, breaks down each component of everybody's personality and presents it in a way that isn't going to directly kind of attack people who are neurodivergent. For example, people with ADHD. A lot of questions on the grit test were very focus based, which is difficult for people who are just not wired that way, which I know that me and Professor Bailey had a conversation about this, but I think that it is important to again highlight that part of it for me. So yeah, that is my vlog for week 2. You'll see linked my GPA calculation and my grades, and I hope that this is exemplary. Thank you.